Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Saturday, September 5th, 2020, and today I'm going to be talking about Donald Trump withdrawing ads from the state of Arizona. So I actually made a video about this, talking about Pennsylvania and Michigan when the Trump campaign was going on the defense, when they were pretty much solidifying, or at least trying to solidify, some of their more conservative states such as Iowa, Ohio, Georgia, Texas, and even Arizona. And from what we've seen now, Trump has spent money on digital advertising in these states. Now, he has not really jumped on the TV ad spending that he had in 2016. He also has more money than he did in 2016, and he's using it, I guess you could say, in a number of states that definitely need it more than others. We're talking about states that are starting to dwindle in terms of the margin for Trump, but we can expect a complete return of full force spending in every single swing state right before Election Day. However, I think it is important to note that today, Arizona falls off that list. With the upcoming Labor Day weekend, President Trump is not spending money in Arizona, with the exception of two relatively small, in comparison to the rest of the state, areas that probably won't be impacting too many voters. And I think this is significant because we are about to jump onto early voting in October. We are going to start with, a number of these voters starting to cast their ballots. And a lot of them are going to start to see that the Trump campaign is not spending as much money in this state as the Biden campaign. And whether this is an issue with fundraising or whether or not Trump realizes that this state has dramatically swung from where it was in 2016, spoiler alert, it has. We'll talk about that in just a moment. I just think this is very significant and very consequential if this continues, because President Trump's campaign does have money reserved for the upcoming, next weeks. But the fact he's taking off, an American holiday, and pushing off this money that he was originally going to spend, it's a very real possibility that he does only pick back up right before voting begins. And while that may seem smart, don't waste your money until the election. If you are a candidate and you are expecting to win the state, and you know that that you need to solidify your message and you need all your voters to come out and vote, you will be hounding those ads in. It doesn't matter how much you're up by. You are going to want to keep those ads in the race because this state is competitive. It's 11 electoral votes. It very well could make or break the electoral college for Donald Trump. If he loses this, he loses Michigan, loses Pennsylvania, he could win Wisconsin, every other swing state, and lose the election. So Arizona is actually pretty crucial to Trump's campaign, and the fact that he would only in a last-minute effort push campaign ads here is pretty significant. Now, he's been running ads here for quite some time now, and with a permanent presence in the state since 2016, Americans have heard from the Trump campaign for years and know about the wins President Trump's America First agenda has delivered for them in just one term. Now, I understand that, yes, ads may have been push, but we see that there are undecided voters in this state. Let's take a look at where the data stands today. Neither Trump or Biden are at 50%. Trump is 6% under 50%, Biden is 1%. That leaves 7% of undecided voters, and if you leave them completely out of the loop for the next couple of weeks, right up to early voting, it is very possible that these voters are swayed by the only ads they see from the Biden campaign. And the reason why I think that the Republican Party may be acknowledging some type of loss in Arizona or realizing that this race might be far gone is because of the Senate race in Arizona. Mark Kelley is up 17% according to Fox News and 11% according to the RCP average. He's up double digits in a state that he's not the incumbent in. The Democrats just won this Senate seat back in 2018. For this Senate seat up, it was John McCain's seat. The Republicans had just won this by 13% in 2016 with John McCain. So 2020 rolls around, and we're seeing a lot of things come out of Arizona. And guess what was just released? We're talking about the veteran comments that were confirmed by Fox News. As much as the president says that these may not have happened, I wasn't there. I'm not going to say if it did happen or if it didn't, but the American view on this is that it did happen, because we see Fox News, The Atlantic, a number of other sources confirming that this happened. And if Fox News is doing it, conservative media is doing it, well, you can guarantee it's going to put a couple of questions in some, voters, because the people that generally watch MSNBC or CNN generally aren't, Trump voters. He's made it clear that he doesn't necessarily like them. He also has made it clear that he doesn't like Fox News, but where do you turn to there? One American News Network. Other than that, Fox News is the main source for conservatives across this country. And the fact that they have confirmed this story is pretty significant. And when we think about Arizona, John McCain's from Arizona, very popular figure, outran Donald Trump in 2016 by nearly 10%, had 9 points in terms of the difference in Trump's margin versus his. And Arizona now, all of a sudden, Biden's ahead by 4.6%. In 2016, Trump was up. And he was up by 4% on election day. Hillary Clinton ended up doing better than the polls expected. So did Donald Trump. And it ended up being a 3.5% margin for Trump. So it narrowed down by roughly 0.5%. Nothing super significant, but it did narrow down. Now we take a look at Arizona, and Biden is up 4.6%. So swing the map. I mean, this is an 8-point swing from 2016. On top of the Senate race, which is more likely than not going to the Democratic Party, following a number of these comments that were leaked about the president, especially towards John McCain in a state such as Arizona, now you start to see why they're withdrawing ads. I think, honestly, they may not want to remind voters that they're even in this campaign because of the fact that, all of these things that are supposedly being said about John McCain on Trump's behalf, him saying, oh, I didn't call John McCain a loser. Mr. President, the tweet's right there. And when you look at the tweet from 2015, where he did literally, in quotes, John McCain is a loser. You can find that tweet yourself. It doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. It doesn't matter if you, agree with the Democratic Party using this as an offense to Trump, but it happened. And it's on Twitter, and the tweet's still not deleted. And even if it was, the record would still be there. So anyways, there's always a tweet for something, especially with this president. But Arizona, a state that the Trump campaign so desperately needs. And I mean that in a very literal sense because, even if, Biden's ahead in Michigan, he's ahead in Pennsylvania. Wisconsin actually is not as narrow as Pennsylvania, but for the sake of 2016 margins, let's say Arizona and Michigan and, Arizona. Michigan and Pennsylvania go blue, Wisconsin goes red, right? So Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa, Texas, Georgia, Arizona. Characterize all the rest of the Republican states. Let's keep the map the same from 2016. Let's see what happens to the electoral map. So characterizing all of them, North Carolina, then Florida puts them at 269, Maine 2nd District. So this is why, the Republican Party needs Arizona because they narrowly win with it. But this is not accounting for the fact that Biden is leading right now in Nebraska 2nd, or the fact he's leading in North Carolina or Florida. Doing well in a number of these states that the Republican Party needs. And he is doing very well in Arizona. So when you take Arizona out of the mix, even if Trump wins Texas, he wins Georgia, he wins Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, Wisconsin, Maine's 2nd District, now Utah, being considered somewhat of a swing state, he loses the election. Without Arizona, it's a done deal because Biden is absolutely carrying Michigan. We've already seen Trump start to spend a lot less money in this state. Also, it's been dramatically swinging leftward. It's the most Democratic state, I'd say, out of these four in total. Pennsylvania, this state is starting to move away from the president's column. Biden was born here. He'll mention that every single speech, and I think that's been reiterated in the voters of Pennsylvania. I mean, he helped Obama do very well in this state in 2008 and 2012. Though Obama did make the entire Midwest look bluer, Biden definitely helped. So Michigan, Pennsylvania are on track to go blue. So is Wisconsin. But let's say Trump even carries it, still doesn't win the election unless he gets Arizona because he so desperately needs their 11 electoral votes to get him from 259 to 270. So Arizona, once that's gone, it's going to be very difficult for me to draw a map where Trump could actually win the election because it doesn't go through Arizona anymore, especially following these things that Trump has supposedly said. Doesn't matter if it's true. If it's been confirmed by news sources, it probably is true, and he's trying to save face. I mean, that makes sense. You would never admit to saying something like this, but, President Trump definitely is in huge trouble in this state. We see a number of former Republicans, or at least current Republicans, coming out against Donald Trump, John Kasich, Ann Romney, Cindy McCain. And these names are going to start ringing a bell amongst these American voters that were staunch McCain supporters, staunch Romney supporters that are now considering voting for Biden. And we're seeing it, a lot in Arizona in particular. This state has so dramatically shifted to the left in just a short couple of years. And now we're starting to see it get further and further to the left to a point where Trump, obviously because of the comments he's made, but also how far he's down, he's definitely expecting a drop here and may just try to jump back on ad spending right before the election. But even then, Arizona may be gone at that point because the Biden campaign has been out fundraising him. The Biden campaign is going to be spending a lot more money in this state. They're going to be playing offense because, spoiler alert, the 2016 map was not exactly, winnable for the Democrats if you just play defense off that map. But Arizona, we could easily see Biden take a larger lead following these things being reported about John McCain, given his statewide presence in Arizona, which is likely why Trump is also withdrawing ads from the state as well. So moving past this, we could see Trump pick back up digital advertising, pick back up TV ads, right before the election, right before early voting. It makes sense. He's the incumbent president. But for someone to just go off the air Labor Day weekend and then, not make any type of commitment to use that money, because there is nothing saying he has to spend it in Arizona. He can just reserve it for Arizona. I think that's pretty significant, because you're right up, 58 days till the election, and you're not even spending money in a crucial swing state that's crucial, and I mean literally crucial to your reelection campaign. Something definitely is going on in Arizona that the Trump campaign is very worried about, but doesn't want to waste money for. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down suggestions below. Subscribe on the left if you haven't already, and check out the Instagram and Twitter. At the bottom left of the screen, there's also a Discord link for you to go ahead and join. On the screen, there's a video you can watch, and then a playlist for my 2020 election videos. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later today.